Okay, could you state your name, please?
My name is Mew.
Okay. Which award are you doing, the drawing or sculpture or whatever?
Well, I'm doing fine art generally, but I'm kind of finding that I'm going more sculpturally. But I don't know that I'm going to change, because I don't want to kind of limit myself. So I don't know, but I've got ages. I'm literally halfway through.
I see. Why have you chosen to, well, deviate from what you thought you would be doing?
I think it was kind of out of my control in a way. It's quite bizarre. I don't know how you feel about this, but I think that... Are you first year full time?
Yeah.
I find that they kind of guide you sometimes without you actually realising it. So you might think that you're kind of going a particular way, and then when when you have your assessments and stuff like that, they sort of kind of plant seeds in your head sometimes without you realising. I don't know, and it's just kind of, it just sort of happened quite organically like that, and I sort of went that way. And if you'd have asked me when I started if I'd have done that, I'm like, no way. It's really bizarre. I mean, you might find the same thing after, but are you painting or are you?
Well, I started out with painting, but I too went a different path, so...
Are you doing the whole thing now, or are you going...
I'm more mixed media, more
Okay.
painting and adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
Are you working mostly with installation now, or...?
I have been. I just did the Pallant House thing, the exchange exhibition, and I did 2 big wooden ostriches for that. And that kind of has led me in that sort of installation thing, because I just did my essay on, since I became more sculpture, I found that my sketchbook is becoming a little bit null and void really, so I did my essay on how sculptors use their sketchbooks, and I found that that was really interesting with the whole kind of using space as well really. So I think that that's led me on a sort of installation. Site specific is quite interesting as well, because you're working to confines and you're working to a deadline. I didn't obviously work to a budget with this, but yeah, I kind of think installation possibly.
Okay. What would you say is your favourite piece, or piece that means the most to you so far?
I've made.
Yeah.
Oh God. God, that's a really hard question. I don't know. None of them particularly, because I find that I think I'm still finding my feet. I suppose the first one that kind of really made me go on a specific way was I did a piece for my last assessment, and I got a piece of wood. It's called tulip wood, and I cut it into 100 blocks, all the same size, square, and made a big thing. And each side had a pattern on it, exactly the same as the other side. So each 6 sides had the same pattern. It's really hard to explain, in a different colour. So if you turned over one, they would all correlate with the other side. And I got a guy that was doing a maths degree, whatever, a PhD or something. I'm terrible at maths. It's really weird. I'm going to.
Me too.
I'm terrible at maths. And it's cool. But I wanted to see how many configurations there would be of this thing, and it was 10 to the power of 116, basically almost infinite. So I called it that. It was based on, do you remember those things? They're like a square, and you go like that, and you have to change the pattern on those numbers. It's like sort of flat, really old school. It was kind of based on that, really, but it was really big. So that probably was the kind of definitive piece so far.
That sounds really impressive and quite interesting.
Like I can, if you give me your email address, I'll send you a picture of it, and you can put it in your interview.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No
Yeah.
problem.
What are you currently working on, and how would you say it's going so far?
Well, I've got an assessment next week, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So that's kind of why I got this, because it's really hard when you're part-time, because you can't really set up. And I live in a 1-bedroom flat, so as I'm kind of working bigger, it's kind of really, it's quite difficult really. So I'm just kind of, like you, kind of mixed media really, sort of just, I want to do this, because they were going to change it around. I'm like, well, no, I wanted to come in here just so I could do stuff in here for a week. So I want to kind of catalogue all the kind of different configurations that get quite mathematical, which is quite weird. Draw it, paint it, and then screen print it at the end of the week.
Oh wow, yeah.
They might be quite boring, but I don't know, there's only one way to find out. But just having a space, I mean, you have one full time, and it's great. I mean, I wish we did, but you know.
Would you say it would help you more if the part-time students had a space to come to that was
yep.
there all the time?
Yeah, totally and utterly. Yeah. It's just how, especially the bigger you work as well, like having to come in for like a car, you know, pack or having all this stuff and it's there for 2 days, you've got to take it all the way back in. If you haven't got a car, it's like, but then sometimes it's quite good to be, you know, to make yourself confined as well, so you don't always have to work big. So it kind of works both ways, but yeah, it would be great.
Would you say it's a shared view across the part-time
Absolutely,
students?
Yeah.
What media processes have you used?
Pretty much all of them, really. I mean, since I've been here, you know, I kind of... Did you do that thing where they start you off and they do a week of oils and charcoal, that you kind of, yeah. And I just, since then, I haven't even looked at oil paints because I hate them. Yeah, I hate them. Did you stretch a canvas?
Yeah.
I haven't even used that yet, that first one. So I kind of like, I don't know, oil paints kind of, I don't know, they don't do anything for me. Maybe they will later on. I'm really into enamel paints, the ones that you use to paint toy cars and stuff, that you get from model shops. And I'm kind of quite interested in screen printing as well. Quite like the, I think I quite like things quite orderly, quite anal maybe.
What was the last exhibition you went to?
I went to dance, well I went to Pallant House one, obviously just to go and see it, and that was a kit eye which was really good. And I went to, it's called Dancing Around Duchamp at the Barbican, and I'd really recommend it. It's on till June, and it's Marcel Duchamp, and it's kind of, I can't remember who else it was, I've got a terrible memory. But it's all the people that were kind of influenced by him, 3 other artists, and it's really inspiring. I really recommend it. I spent like 3 hours in there, and it's not that big. And it was just the whole element of chants and stuff that he used, and just all the John Cage music that was kind of going on around and stuff. It was really good. Really recommend it.
Which artist would you say you're interested in?
Rachel Whiteread, I really like. I love her drawings. And for my last essay, I did a lot of Anthony Gormley's sketchbooks. I'm not really that keen on his sculptures, and I think he's probably a bit of a twat. I don't know, he doesn't come across very well in interview. He kind of quite sort of really into himself. Well, he obviously uses his own body the whole time as well, doesn't he? But his sketches are beautiful. I love his sketches. Who else do I like? Blinky Palermo. I like all of his wooden sculptures. I can't think of anyone else, sorry.
That's okay. Do you think any have influenced your work so far?
Any of those ones I just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really hard sometimes. I don't know about you, but I find it like, it's quite hard sometimes not to be influenced when you go and see something that really inspires you. Whether it kind of shows in your work or whether it doesn't. There's sometimes like just a little kind of thing that gets in your head, isn't there? I think that Rachel Whiteread has draw 2D wise, not 3D wise. I think that Blinky Palermo has in the kind of freeness use of the wood and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Do you have a blog or a website for your
I do,
art?
yeah, I've got a Tumblr. I had to do that for bloody thing. Yeah, I've got a Tumblr. I don't feel like I'm ready to get a website yet. So a Tumblr is brilliant. Have you got one?
Yeah.
It's just really, they look really good. And I don't know about you, but I found when I photograph my work and put it on there, it looks so much better than the actual.
Yeah, I found that too, yeah.
Yeah, and you can update it, it's easy, you know, it did take me like a weekend though to get it fully together, but yeah, it's worth doing, I think.
Have you entered any competitions with your art?
Just the Pallant House one, and I didn't think I was going to get chosen because it's 2 massive ostriches, and they normally have quite small stuff, and so I was really chuffed about that. Yeah, also that's the only one.
Have you approached any galleries with your...
I'm too shy at the moment. I'm too like I don't have enough confidence yet.
Understandable,
Yeah,
of course, yeah. Are you planning to study at an MA level?
No way. Just because I just kind of want to, you know, I was, funny enough, I was talking to a couple of women on my course yesterday, and one of them even said she wants to do a PhD, and I was like, Jesus Christ. You know, like, how many years will you be studying for? I kind of want to get this. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. Though. I'm really enjoying it. But I just want to get out there as soon as you, really.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, I can understandable.
There's kind of over-education, I think, sometimes as well, isn't there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have any career ambitions within the art field?
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to be an artist that makes money, you know. I want to be able to, ideally, you know, make money, be well known, be respected, all of the above.
Of course. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's the end of the interview.
Thank you.